What is happening, guys? This is Dreg Style, and just in case you didn't know, Contract Wars 2.0 Standalone, or Hired Ops as it's now called, has officially launched in an early access stage on Steam, and it costs around $10. I've played for about 23 hours so far, and although I'm not an expert by any means, I feel like I have a basic grasp of the gameplay and how it overall compares to Contract Wars. So I'm going to point out the main differences between Hired Ops Early Access and Contract Wars. And if you haven't seen any of Hired Ops yet, you'll see what it currently brings to the table. But first things first, I'm going to warn you that Hired Ops is in an early access stage, which means that some of the things I'm going to show you could change when the game fully releases, so don't be surprised if things are a bit different later on down the road. With that being said, here's the main screen. It's pretty self-explanatory, but I would like to point out that there is no GP currency anymore. Yes, GP is no longer a thing. Everything in the game that I've seen is bought with either credits, mod points, or skill points. I don't 100% know if they will be adding in microtransactions later or not, but I honestly don't think they will. This is not a free-to-play game, which means that Absolute Soft will make their money from people buying the game instead of making their money from people buying GP for special crap in the game. Let's hope they keep it that way. Anyway, let's check out the weapons. I've got 3 tiers unlocked so far, and you actually unlock the weapon tiers with credits, which is different from Contract Wars, where you earn the different tiers by leveling up. I don't know if they're going to keep it this way when the full game launches, but I hope they do. Here's the different weapons in the tiers I've unlocked so far. Here's Tier 1. Some of Tier 2. And Tier 3. As you can see, some weapons can only be bought with mod points, which in this early access stage you can only earn by doing the weapon tasks. Weapon tasks are a bit different from Contract Wars too. Each weapon in Hired Ops has its own tiers of tasks, and each completed task will give you whatever amount of mod points it says it's worth. You also do not have to complete a weapon task to be able to attach mods, which is nice. The weapon modding system is almost the same as Contract Wars, except it has a different layout, and you buy most of your mods with credits. There are a few that you can only buy with mod points though, and I'm also going to point out that the weapon meta levels are unlocked by getting kills and not experience. Let's take a look at the skills. Similar to Contract Wars, but with a different layout. I don't know if all these skills with the question marks get unlocked by hitting a certain level, or maybe these are the spec skills that you can only get by selecting an operator class, which you can't do yet that I've seen. I don't know, maybe these skills just aren't ready yet. One big change from Contract Wars is that you can no longer pick what server you play on. The matchmaking is done automatically. You pick what game mode and map you want to play on, and the matchmaking system will do the rest for you. You can now choose to play each map as either daytime or nighttime too. Night maps add a whole new challenge because they are much darker than the night maps in Contract Wars. But don't worry about having to buy night vision goggles because everybody has night vision goggles by default. Although if you're feeling lucky and have a flashlight mod on your weapon, you can use that instead. Yes, the flashlights and the lasers are totally functional in Hired Ops, and it's badass. Okay, let's get into the fun stuff, the gameplay. Hired Ops plays like a sleeker, slightly more fast-paced version of Contract Wars, and the first difference I noticed was the recoil. Jeez! The recoil in this game is a whole different beast from Contract Wars. But after some time you can learn how to control it. Of course, having the right skills and weapon mods helps a lot too. Players now have the ability to sprint, which is one of the most requested things that people wanted in Contract Wars. But not only can we sprint, but we can lean too. The leaning is a bit tough to get used to, but it's great if you're expecting someone to fly around a corner at you. One thing that's going to make a lot of Contract Wars players happy is that team stacking is no longer possible. If you're in a game and your team loses some players and is outnumbered, the game will switch the next people that die on the opposing team onto your team until it's evened out. If you're playing in a team elimination match and become the VIP, you not only get your usual 1000 health, but you also get an LMG that you don't have to reload. And you also get 6 shots with a friggin' grenade launcher. Another thing that was added is a new kill streak bonus. Upon reaching a kill streak of 8, you unlock the Bunker Buster, which works pretty much like a mortar strike, but instead of throwing a little beacon, you use a pair of special binoculars? I'm going to call them special binoculars. You use a pair of special binoculars to designate where you want it to hit, which means it is very useful on bigger maps because the Bunker Buster does not have the maximum range of your throwing distance. So the real question is Hired Ops fun? Hell yeah, it is. It feels like how Contract Wars 2.0 should be, and if you've had any kind of fun in the original Contract Wars, you'll most likely enjoy it too. I personally can't wait for the full game to release. Go ahead and use the comment section to let me know what you think of the game so far. Show that like button some love, and share some of that love with the subscribe button if you haven't already. I'm gonna go drop some bombs on people with my special binoculars! Hopefully I'll see you guys in game. Dreg style out.